Books on Elohim Kalam, Mapi Shamim, Books on Elohim Kalam, Matir Sarim, Books on Elohim Kalam, Kefufim, Books on Elohim Kalam, Kar Sahamayim, Books on Elohim Kalam, Shasali Kozarki, Books on Elohim Kalam, Hamekim Tzadei Gaber, Books on Elohim Kalam, Watzes Yisrael Bigvara, Books on Elohim Kalam, Watzes Yisrael Bigvara, Books on Elohim Kalam, Tainei Koah, Books on Elohim Kalam, Udnei Hayam V'Chayam, V'Lechein Chesed V'Achamim, B'Eineka V'Einei Kol Ro'einu, V'Tikmileinu Hasidim Tovim, Brukat Adonai, Gomeh Hasidim Tovim, V'Amo Yisroel. Yehi Ratzon V'Fon Lecham Elohim V'Chayam. And Kiko. Ashrenu Matov Helkenu, Umanaim Gorlenu, Umayafai Rushatenu, Ashrenu Shanachim Mashkimim, Mari V'Yemer Baboker, Deomrim Pamarim B'Chal Yom, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'adeshet Shemcha Amak Tishay Shemecha, V'adeshet Shemcha V'Yolameka, V'Yeshua Takat Tarim B'Seg V'Yekarnenu, V'Urakat Adonai, Mekadeshet Shemcha Ba'Rabim, Atahu Adonai Eloheinu V'Shamayim V'Oretz. Yetat Kim Hashem V'Chol Yom Ha'aretz, Ushuvi et Shvotechem Leinechem Amar Adonai. Let's go to page 11, Roman numeral 2. Rabbi says, great is peace. For even if the Israelites worship the stars, should peace reign among them? God would say, I cannot rule over them, since peace reigns among them. As written, Ephraim is fused bones, let him be. But when they are at odds, what does God say? Their heart is contentious. Now they should be found guilty. Therefore, knowing that peace is great and strife is beautiful. Rabbi Ishmael Omer B'Shalom. Yehi Ratzon V'Fenechem Eloheinu V'Hayavoteinu Shetiknu Helkeinu B'Toratecha V'Niyeh B'Tavidot Shel Aron HaKohen Ohev Shalom V'Rodev Shalom Ohev Et HaBriot M'Karban LaTorah. Page 13, Kaddish de Rabbanan. Yikadal Yikadash Shemei Rabbah. Yalma Devarach Yutei V'Yamlech Malchutei. V'Chayekom V'Yomekom V'Chayed V'Kol Beit Yisrael. V'Agala V'Zman Kariv V'Yamru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah V'Vorach V'Yolam V'Yolam. Yitbarak V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh. V'Yitadar V'Yitalev V'Yitalal Shemei D'Kudusha V'Yirchu. Ve'elamin Kol B'Chata V'Shirata. Shush B'Chata V'Nechemata. Damiram V'Alma V'Yamru. Amen. Al Yisrael V'Al Rabbanan V'Al Tamideho. V'Al Kol Tamidei Tamideho. V'Al Kol Ma'an Taskin V'Oraita. Di V'Atra Hadaim V'Di V'Chol Atar V'Atar. Hey L'Chon L'Chon Shlama Rabbah. Kina V'Hista V'Rachamim. V'Chayim Archim V'Mezonah Revicha. V'Furkana Min Kadam V'Hon Divish Shemaya v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Tovim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom V'mamav Hu B'rachamav Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Page 14. Mizmor Shir Hanukkah Habayim L'David Afakta Mesudi Lamakali, Patakasaki Bazraini Simcha, Laman Zamercha Kavo Below Yidom, Adonai Elohei, V'olam Odeka, page 15, Warner's Cottage. Yitkadah, Yitkadah, Shemei Rabbah. B'yalmad, Divarach, Yutei, B'yamlich, Malchutei. B'chayechon, B'yomechon, B'chayei, B'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala, U'b'zman, Kariv, V'yimru. Amen. Shemei Rabbah, B'varach, B'yolam, B'yomei Yitbarach, V'yistabach, V'yitpahar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shemei V'churusha, Rechel, Le'lamin Kol, B'chata, V'shirata, Tush B'chata, V'nechamata, Damiram, B'yalma, V'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, B'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom V'mama, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Page 16. Baruch She'emar B'haya Olam, Baruch Oseh Bereshit, Baruch Oseh Makayim, Baruch Mehema HaBriot, Baruch Hai La'ad B'kayam L'netzach, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Ha'el HaHaman. Yachid Hei Olamim, Melech Meshubachim Fa'aradei Ad Shemo HaGadol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Melech Mechulal Batish Bacho. Amen. Page 17. Hodru Adonai Karu B'Shmo. Kikal Elohei Ha'amim Elohim, V'Adonai Shamayim Asa. Hodru Lefanav Odra. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtakavu l'char kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. V'hu rachum v'chaber abam lo yashid. Adonai tzvot ashrei adam b'tech bach, Adonai Hoshea melech yanenu v'yom kareinu. Hoshea Adonai ki b'shem Adonai. Ashrei Adonai. V'ani b'haslecha b'tachti yagia libi b'yeshuatecha, ashiv Adonai ki gamal alai. Mizmor Adonai. Kitovanai Lilam Hasavia Dorvadora Munato. Kavodai Lilam Yismakaranai Bamasav. Behurachim Mikapira Bambalo Yashif, Yabala Shiva Pablo Yair Kochamato, Adonai Hoshia Malak, and Nibion Kareinu.
Page 21.
Tilat Anai Perpi, Bivarate called by such and Picholia Lumbo and Banak Nunivarekia, Metabedalam, Hallelujah, 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 Nafshi Adonai. Adonai Shemer et Gerim, Yatom V'Yamanai Yoded, V'Derok V'Shayim Yaveh, Imlokanai V'Yom Ha'id Sem, V'Dobador, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Kito Zamra Elohim. Magi Rav Yaakov, Kavan Mishpatav Yisrael, Lo Asachein Lechagoy, Mishpatim Bal Yadaum, Hallelujah. 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 Min Hashemayim. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Shema, I can't tell Vayaram Karen Yamo, Tilalacha Hasidav, Lubnei Israel, Am Karobo, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shir Adonai, Shir Hadash. Leisor Makachem, Bizikem, Benis, Bedekem, Behablai Barzel. Las Opachem Mishpat Katuv, Hadarhu Lecho Hasidav, Hallelujah.
Put it together in the middle of page 25.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Osein Nifla Luado, Rukshin Kavado Lialam, Vimalay Kavado Ekal Ha'ars, Amen, Amen.
Page 26.
Vayivarech David et Adonai Lene Kol HaKahal, V'yomer David. Mishtachim Atahu Adonai ha'elalem asher v'charta v'avram v'chosei to me'or kasdim v'sam ta shemo Avraham umatzata et levavo ne'eman lefanecha v'charod imo et levarecham. V'ayam b'katar lefnehem v'avru v'toch hayam v'yavasha v'yet rovehem hishlachta b'mzolo k'mo even b'mayim azim. V'yar Yisrael et hayad hagdola asher asarnai v'mitzrayim v'yir'u ha'am et Adonai v'yaminu b'Adonai u'Moshe avdo. Kila Adonai Hamlucha u'Moshe v'Goyim v'elu Moshe im b'char Tzion lishpot echar Esav v'haytal Adonai Hamlucha v'haya Adonai l'melech al ha'aretz bayom hahui Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Shimcha lo ad malkeinu Oel HaMelech HaGadol v'HaKadosh b'Shamayim v'Haaretz Ki l'cha noed noel Eloheinu v'lehei Avosseinu Shir u'shmacha Halel v'zimra Oz v'mem shalom Nitzach Gedula Gvura Tehila v'Siferes Kedusha Malchus Barachos v'Odos Me'atov Yad Olam Baruch Atah Adonai El Melech Gadol Batishbachos, El HaHodaos Adon HaNiflos, Habocher B'Shirei Zimra, Melech Elchei HaOlamim. Yiskadav Yiskadash Mirabah, Yom Adivrach Risev, Yom Lich Malchusei, B'chai Echon V'im B'chon V'chai L'chol Beis Yisrael, V'Agolos Man Karev Yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rama Mavorach, Le'olam Le'ol Le'ol Mayon, Yisbaraf, Yistabaf, Yisbar, Yismav, Yisnaseh, Yisdar, Yislev, Yislosh, Med Kudusha, Rich, Huli, Elam, Kaberchasav, Yishirasa, Yishbachasav, and Echemasa, Damiram Yama, Vimru, Amen. Page 30. Baruch Hu es Adonai, Mavorach. Baruch Anavarach, Leolam, Vaed. Klam ahuvim, klam berurim, klam giborim. V'chlam osim be'im avira ratzon konam. V'chlam poskim es behem, bekedusha v'torah, v'shira v'zimra, v'mvarchim v'shapkim v'farim. V'marit sigmadishim v'mam lichim. Eshem, v'melech ha'gadol, ha'gibor v'nara, kadosh hu. V'chlam makam aleim, ol machus shamayim zeh mizeh. V'nosnim b'shu selazeh, latish liacham b'nachas ruach, v'safav v'rav v'nima kedusha, kulam, ke'ach choranim v'mimber yira, kadosh, 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 Adonai tzavos, v'choretz kavodo. V'hofinim v'chayas ha'kodesh, barash gadol, m'sasim limas rafim, limasam v'shapim v'yomrim, Baruch v'Adonai mimkomo. Or Kadosh Al Tzion Ta'ir V'Nizkech V'Namahir Lioro Baruch Atadonai Yotzer HaMa'oros
Amen.
Avo Ravo Av Tanu Anu Eloheinu.
Page 32.
V'Havienu L'Shalom Me'arba Kanfos Ha'oretz V'Selichinu Konias V'Arsenu Ki El Poyesh Yeshuos Oto Uvanu V'Archatam V'Kalam V'Lashon Ki Avtanu L'Shimcha Gadol Sel Be'emes Lodos L'Choy Achet Chob Yava Baruch Atadonai Avachar B'May Yisrael B'Yahava Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Yohavta Eis Hanoi Elohecha B'chol V'avacha B'chol Nafshecha B'chol Ma'odecha V'hoyu Advarim Ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavacha Hayom Malavavecha V'shinantam Lavanecha V'dibartam Bam V'shiftecha V'veisecha U'v'lechtecha V'aderech U'v'shaklecha U'v'kumecha U'v'shartam Leos Ha'yadecha V'hoyu L'totafos B'neinecha U'chesavtam Amazuzos Me'sechon U'vishoret. Vayomer Adonai Moshe Lemor Daber El Bnei Yisrael V'yamarta Aleihem V'yasu Lahem Tzitzis Al Kain Fevig Dehem L'Dorasam V'nosnu Al Tzitzis Hakanav V'sil Techeles V'yalachem L'Tzitzis Urisem oso, uzachartem es kol mitzvos, Adonai, va'asisem osam, v'lo sasuru, acharei levavachem, v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim, achreihem, laman tizkaru, va'asisem es kol mitzvosoi, V'sam kadoshim le'loechem Ani Adonai Eloheichem Asher hotzeitzi Esfem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lios lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Eloheichem Adonai Eloheichem Emes. The Dorvador who Kayam, Ushmo Kayam, the Chiso Nachon and Machos 7 Miso, Lo Ad Kayam. Emes Shatahu Anohinu Leavosenu, Malkinu Melech Avosenu, Goalinu Guel Avosenu, Yotrina to Yeshua Senu, Hodenu Matzlenu Mel Shemecha. In Elohim Zula Secho. Ezra, Savasino.
After we conclude the bracha at the bottom of page 35, we'll continue individually with our own silent Amidah prayers on the following pages.
Tilos Le'Yon, Baruch Hu U'Mavorach. Moshe Ibnei Yisrael L'cha Anu Shra B'Simcha Rabbah V'Yamru Chulam Mi Chamocha Bo'elim Adonai Mi Chamocha Nedor B'Kodesh No Rasahilo So Sefela Shirach Adesha Shivchu Gulim L'Shincha Asafas Hayam Yachad Kulam Hoduvim L'Chu V'Yamru Adonai Yimlov Li'olam V'Amen. Sur Yisroel Kuma Be'ezras Yisroel Uvdei Mecha Yehuda V'Yisroel Go Aleinu Adonai Tzavos Shemon Kadosh Yisroel Baruch Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Avoseinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Hoel Hagadol, Hagibur v'Anara, El Elyon, Gomer Chasidim Tovim v'Kanei HaKol, Zocher Chastei Avos, Mevi Goel Bnei V'neihem, L'man Shmo B'Yava, Melech Ozer Mishim Again, Baruch atah Adonai, Again Avraham, Atah Gibur L'am Adonai, Mechayim Mesim Atarav Loshia, Ma'ashiva Ruach, Marira Goshem, Chakachayim B'Chesed, Mechayim Mesim Brachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, B'Rofei Cholim, U'Matira Surim, U'Mekayim Emunasol L'Shenei Alfor, Mi Chomocho Ba'al Gvuros, Umi Damelach, Melech Memis Mechayim Atzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'emon Atah L'Achayos Mesim, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema,
V'Chayei Mesim,
Amen.
Kadesh Eshem Chal B'Olam, Kishem Shema Kishim Oso B'Shmei Maram, Kagosu V'Yad Nevi'echa V'Kara Zeh, El Zeh, V'Yomar.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavot, Melech Haaretz Kevodo.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzavos, Melech Haaretz Kevodo, Liyom Esam Baruch Yomeru.
Baruch Adonai Kamo.
Baruch Kavod Namim Kalmo, V'Divrei Kachcha Kasuv Le'mor.
Lord, Adonai, Elohayach Tzion, Yovedur, Hallelujah.
Yemloch Anoi Le'olam, Elohai Tzion, L'Doverdor, Hallelujah. L'Doverdor Nagid God Lecho, U'Lenetzach Mitzachim, Krushos V'Nakdish, Shivacha Eloheinu Pinu, Lo Yamush Lam Voed, Ki HaMelech Kadova Kadosh Atah, Baruch atah Adonai,
Shmo.
El HaKadosh,
Amen. May be seated, page 38.
Atah Chanin L'Am Das, M'Lamed Lenish Bina, Choninum Itka Dea Bina V'Yaskel, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Chonin Adas,
Amen.
Ashivenu Enoi L'Tzorasecha, V'Karvin Mekin L'Avrasecha, V'Chazrinu V'Shuva, Shlem L'Fanecha, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
V'Retzeh B'Shuva,
Amen.
Salach Mono Viniki Chatanu, Machalan Makinu Kifo Shanu, Ki Machayav Sleach Atah, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Chanunam Belis Loach,
Amen.
Einav Vaninu, Riva Rivenu, Ulena Mehir Laman Shemecha, Ki Goel Chazak Atah, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Goel Yisrael,
Amen.
Rafainu Adonai Mirafei, Hoshina Vidu Hasheya, Ki Silosenu Atah, Ale Rafua Shlema Lachol Makosenu, Ki HaMelech Hanun, Ki HaMelech Rafei Ne'eman Rachaman Atah, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Rafei Cholei Amo Yisrael,
Amen.
Rech Olenu, Adon Eloheinu, As Hashem Azos, Yes Kol Mnei Tvos Latova, Say Talamat Vracha, Al Panei Adama, Samin V'Tuva Rech Shosenu Kashnem Atavas, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Rech Hashanim,
Amen.
Ka B'Shav Gadol Cheresenu, V'Sa Neis L'Kametz Kliyosenu, Kaptinu Yachad, Mi'arba Kanfos Oretz, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Kabetz M'Chei Amo Yisrael,
Amen.
Shiva Shavtenik Rishanav, Yotenik Vatachila, Chosem Menig Gam V'Anacha, Moloch Alinu Atah Anu Levadcha B'Chesed Rachmim, Tzai Kenaba Mishpat, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch U'Baruch Shema.
Melech L'Hei Tzedakah Mishpat,
Amen.
Lamashin Mal Tikva, V'Kol Rish Kirkit Aveid, V'Kol Evecha Mekaresu, Vazida Behira Saker, Ushberis, Magev, Sakia, Behavior Menu, Baruch Nai. Shover Ovin Machnia Zadim.
Amen.
Tzadikim Gal Hasidim, Vyas Neim Chal Beish Yisrael, Vla Pleta Sofreihem, V'Agerea Tzek Verleinu, Yamun Rachmecha, Anoel Hinu, V'Saints Chotov L'Chol Abodchem V'Shemcha Emes, V'Simcha Keni Mahem, Uleolam Lo Nevosh Ki B'Chaba Tachnu, Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Yishon of Tachla Tzadikim.
Amen.
Lirshlai Recha Rachman Toshuv, Yisrael B'Sok Asher Debarta, V'nei Asab B'Kar B'Mena Ben Elam, V'Chisedav M'Helo Socha Tachin, Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Bonei Yerushalayim.
Amen.
Es Samachtav D'Chom, Hiatat Zmiaf, Karnot Rumishu Sacha, Kiddush Wascha, Kavina Kolayam, Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Matzmiach Keren Yeshua.
Amen.
Shema Kolenu, Adon Eloheinu, Chus Rachem Aleinu, Akabel Barach Marasan Es Tefilah Seinu, Ki El Shemea Tefilah Sachnunim Ata, Umilfanecha Ma'akin Rakam Al Teshivenu, Ki Ata Shemea Tefilah Amcha Yisrael Barachamim, Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Shemea Tefilah.
Amen.
V'tzei Eloheinu B'Amcha Yisrael V'Sfilah Sam, V'Shevas Avodah L'Virvei Secha, V'Sfilah Sam B'Yavas Kabel Ratzon, Uzhir Ratzon Tamid Avodah Yisrael Amecha, Sechazenu Enenu B'Shuval Tzim Barachamim, Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Machzir Shmasol Tzion.
Amen.
Modi Manachnu La Shatahu Eloheinu Le'Yosem Aved Tzur Chayenim Again Shinu Atol Dover Dor Denu Chon Safi Secha Achinim Shem Bedecha V'Yanis P'Hem B'Kos Law Fani Secha Shekoyim Manu Fani Secha Tov Secha Shekolis Er V'Kot Shrayim Hatov Kilo Chuli Rachamach V'Amrachein Kilo Sanuchas Decha Me'alam Ki V'Nu La Yam Kulam Yisbrach Yishram Shemchom Akinu Tamid Ilam Voed Chol HaChayim Yidu Chosela V'Alu Eshemcha Be'emes Chwei Shusenu V'Zosenu Sela Baruch Atah Nai.
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Ato Shemcha L'chanu El Hodos.
Amen.
Eloheinu V'Yavasenu Borchenu B'Bracham Shleshes B'Torah Agasuva Aidei Moshev Decha Ha'amuram Pirun Avanav Kohanim Am Kedushecha Kamur Yivarecha Nai V'Yishmerecha
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Yo'er Nai Panavelecha V'Chuneka
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Yisa Nai Panavelecha Yisem Lecha Shalom
Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Sim Shalom B'Olam Tova Vracha Chen V'Chesed Rachma Leinu V'Akais R'Lamecha V'Orchenu Avinu Klanik Yecha B'Yor Panecha Ki V'Yor Panecha Nasata Lanu Adon Eloheinu Toras Chayim V'Avas Chesed U'Tzedaka U'Vracha V'Rachman V'Chayim V'Shalom V'Tov B'Einecha L'Varechas Amcha Yisrael B'Chol Eis V'Chol Shabish Lamecha Baruch Atah Nai
Baruch U'Baruch Shemo.
Rex Am Yisrael B'Shalom.
Amen. Tachanun, page 62.
Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, Shemor, She'erish Yisrael. Shomer, Shomer Yisrael, Shemor, She'erish Yisrael. V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad Yisrael, V'al Yovad, V'al Yovad Yisrael, Ha'omrim, Ha'omrim. Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael, Shomer, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor She'eris Am Echad, Shomer, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor She'eris Am Echad, V'al Yovad. Shimcha. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shomer, Shomer, Goy Kadosh. Shemor, Sheheris Am Kadosh. Shomer, Shomer, Goy Kadosh. Shemor, Sheheris Am Kadosh. Vial Yovad, Goy Kadosh, Vial Yovad, Goy Kadosh, Hamashalashim, Bishalos, Kedushas Lekados. Oshvenu Heyeshenu, Adavar Kavod Shemecha, Vatilena V'chaper Achatosenu, Leman Shemecha. Yiskadav Yiskadash Merabah. Yom Adivrak Risev, and Lich Malchus Sev, V'chayachon of Mechon of V'chayach Chol Beish Yisroel, V'agos Manker of Yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mavorach, Leolam, Leolam, Leolam. Yisparaf, Yishtabaf, Yisparav, Yishmav, Yisnaseh, Yisdar, Yislev, Yislosh, Medikudisha, Rechuli, Elah, Mikaber Chasav, Yishirasa, Tushbachasav, V'necha Masa, Damiram Yamav, Yimru, Amen.
Please rise for the prayer on behalf of Medinat Yisrael, the state of Israel. We'll read together in English in the middle of page 75. Avinu Shema Shamayim, Rock and Redeemer of the people of Israel, bless the state of Israel with its promise of redemption.
Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants lasting joy. And let us say, Amen.
May be seated. Ashrei, page 78.
Ashrei Vetecha Ojalu Chasela.
Ashrei Shemiteta Ojalu Chasela.
Tilat Nerner Berbi, Vibray Kaba Shashem, Sholi Alamboed, Banak, Nuni Barekia, Meta Velam, Hallelujah. Hey Makaru Benafalu, Benalasmu Kamnu Benito Dad, and Nahoshi Amalek and Nanavium Karenu. V'yivtechu v'cha yodei Shemecha, ki lo azat v'doshecha Adonai, Adonai hafeis l'man tzidko, yagdil Torah v'yadir. Yikarav yikarav shmei rabbah, yamad v'rakutei v'yamlech makutei v'chayechom yom yekom v'chayitchol beit Yisrael b'galos man karim yimeru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach, Leilam and Kobra Kadava Shirat Ata Jifata Benekamata Damiram Bialma Vimaru. Amen. Pick up your slow cone, the road cone, the Christ rock, and I'm home to be Shemaya Vimaru.
Amen.
Yehei Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya, Bechayim Elena Bial Christ Rabbi Yimaru.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'mamav, Huya Seh Shalom, Elena Bial Christ Rabbi Yimaru. Amen. Amen.
With affection and fondness, we recall those members of our community, their family and friends whose Yoretzites occur today, the 5th of Adar Rishon. We remember Aaron Kleinfeld, Annette Sue Goodfarb, Daniel Poland, Goldie Sylvia Rubin, Harry Moscow, Helene Pilton, Indiana, Lucy Etta Rubin, Max Joseph Lipkin, Richard L. Hollins, Ruth Brock, Sarah Witten, Saul Hirsch, and Vivian Sandler. Yehi Zichron Baruch, may our memories of the departed bring comfort and strength. May they rest in peace. Amen. Amen. Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, page 84. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'oma divra kirutei v'yamlech malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon. B'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'olam le'omei omaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit alal shemei dikudisha. Brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbechata v'nechemata. Tamiran bi'oma v'yimeru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'yimeru amen. Shir Shayam, the psalm for Wednesday, the bottom of page 87. Bino bo'arim ba'musam. Kilayito shalanayam.
The
We'll briefly detour to page 251 and add a psalm for Israel as our hearts are joined to our brothers and sisters in this time of distress and uncertainty. Bottom of page 251. A song of ascent. I lift up my eyes to the hills. What is the source of my help? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let you stumble. Your guardian will not slumber. Indeed, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your guardian, your shelter at your side. The sun will not smite you by day, nor the moon by night. Adonai will guard you against all evil. God will guard you body and soul. Adonai will guard your going out and your coming home, now and forever. We'll conclude with Kaddish Yater, Mourner's Kaddish, found again on page 84. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'omad ivara kirute v'yamlech malchute. V'chayechon v'yomechon. V'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kari v'meru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach. Ve'olam le'omeh omaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach. V'yit pa'ar v'yit ramam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudisha. Brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Tamiran be'oma v'meru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'meru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'meru. Amen. Eshkoach to Bruce Stark 1, and to Stu Brenner, and to Bruce Stark 2, and Boker Tov to everybody. Eshkoach, Bruce.
Rabbi, during the evening a few days ago when we had the chancellor of the JTS,
Yes.
I had an issue I wanted to raise with her, but it didn't relate to anti-Semitism, which was her topic. But I wondered, she's in a position, it appears to me, to influence the next generation of conservative rabbis.
Yes.
And I see, I don't know if this is typical, but I see here in Jacksonville, during the short time you and I have been here in town, there have been two conservative shuls, the Beaches and Beth Shalom, that are no longer conservative shuls. And during that same time,
Beth Shalom is just as part of our shul.
all right,
Beth Shalom does not exist anymore, but yes, per se.
and during that same time that I saw these two conservative shuls no longer appear, I saw two or new Chabad congregations appear. And I wonder if what her thoughts were about addressing this issue of what appears to me being a diminishing conservative population in the next, as she influences the next generation of conservative rabbis in this country.
Well, the issue has been around considerably longer than the Jackson. There were well over 800 affiliated with the movement. We have shrunk in terms of number of affiliated congregations. Probably about 30%. 600, a little under 600, whereas there were over 800 once upon a time. The thing about Chabad and the all depends on how you measure growth. Chabad is carrying out international organization gives them for several years to get themselves going. And then they have to figure out how to fund themselves. Usually, always, you're not working for a salary per se. It's all wrapped up in one. So the way that they survive, they do it in two ways. One is they do certain fees for services that they will charge. There's a tutoring, posturing, kitchen, Shabbat, and then the other thing they'll do is they'll cultivate relationships with get to know donors in their area, and they'll cultivate a couple of very critical relationships that offset their costs or underwrite specific programs. But it's a very different model. It also means that a Chabad, say Chabad is you go there, your programs might have a dozen people. They're probably big ticket items. They'll have crowds. But otherwise, on a day-to-day basis, they don't have a lot of people. But they don't need to. Their overhead is relatively low. They're in a Boker Toe. And they'll have a handful of people, in a house. Our Chabad in Mandarin is unusual. On the south side, they're unusual in that they are standalone buildings. But St. John's, or Flooding Island, they're in homes that they bought homes. The rabbi lives there with his family. So it's a very different model. So it's not, one, you can't have a one-to-one correspondence between one center, one Jacksonville Jewish Center, and one Chabad. But, you can't deny the success of the model, but it's a very different one. Whether we would be better off, we wouldn't have a movement. Really, every Chabad stands alone. They're all united by their religious philosophy, but there's no Chabad USY, if you will. So what they do is they're very successful with the unaffiliated. People who, don't want commitments. They have to send their child to a religious school to have a bar mitzvah. That they don't have to pay synagogue dues. That they can, pay as you play. And I don't deny them their success, but it's not readily translatable into a traditional synagogue model. So, rabbis who are seminary trained and ordained, they have contracts, they're not, they don't go to a central committee and look at the map and see where there are enough Jews, enough of a critical mass to warrant, planting a conservative Chabad-like facility. And there, the rabbi, they are missionaries. and they live there. That's they move there. They're not, well, this contract ends and, I may move here or there. They set up shop. So Rabbi Kahanoff and Rivki Kahanoff have been here, I don't know, 30,
Longer than we have.
30, 35, at least 30 years. So they are, they get stationed, if you will, but it's a permanent station, and they are. If you're interested, there's a book called The Rebbe's Army.
We've had it for years.
Read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in our travels,
We've been to some of those
Oh,
places.
sure, and there's nowhere, look, the model, and, I was in Prague, and I wanted to have a Shabbat dinner somewhere. Where did I go? I went to Chabad.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't, I think Susan and I paid the equivalent of about $60 each for Shabbat dinner. Place was packed. That dinner didn't cost them $60 or its equivalent. That's, I don't begrudge them. They provide a service for their community, and they hang out. They hang out around all of the synagogues in Prague, where the tourist places. So when I went to the Altneu Shul, I see two young guys hanging out outside, sitting on the hood of a car. They look like they were Chabad. They were. I went over and said, we're looking for where we can get Shabbos dinner, and one of them had just arrived that day from Australia. Oh, from all over.
Well, I know they're in Australia. Yeah, we had to.
And in fact, Chabad the only state they were not in was South Dakota.
Yeah.
They finally got to South Dakota. So they are in, I'm not sure if it's Rapid City or Fargo, one end of the state or the other, but now Chabad is in South Dakota. So they're.
Oh yeah. No, almost 20 years ago, before we came here, we were in Boise, Idaho. We're in Idaho, and we looked on the internet and found the Chabad, and that's where we went for Rosh Hashanah, wasn't it? Yeah.
No.
But
Susan and I
they just
were.
arrived at that point, and they just.
They're
come.
now
they're.
As long as there are a handful of Jews, there could be a dozen families. That's all that they just to get a niche, and they do have money for that initial funding. We spent the day in Taos, New Mexico. Drive down Main Street, and it was during the week. We weren't looking. Boom, big sign, Chabad. The other thing is, wherever you find Israelis, we found a bunch of Israelis in Taos making jewelry and things like that. So that's the other place. Chabad will go where there are Israelis, and it's a match made in heaven, because many Israelis aren't. They find the model of affiliation alien in Israel. You don't pay synagogue dues. If you need a shul, right? You don't normally, if you're typical secular Israeli, you don't need a shul except for, a few specific life cycle things. Maybe to say Kaddish for your father's yahrzeit, and you go down to the corner. It's a state-funded institution. You don't pay dues, so they fit in well with Chabad. It's familiar to them. They see Chabad in Israel, and they'll support it, but not in a dues capacity. The Chabad in Daytona Beach.
They have a beautiful building.
Yes, and another one of their strong sources of support, Russian oligarchs.
As is here near UNF.
Yes. Frankfurt. So, it's undeniably successful. Some rabbis complain that they siphon from the organized. But look, I'm a fan of capitalism. Competition is not a bad thing, and we offer different things. But it's up to us to be the best that we can, not to be frustrated that they are being the best that they can. They're doing what's best for themselves. I mean, the one thing though about Chabad is that they typically don't play ball with the community. So when I think of, look at Federation, things are a little better now. You look at Federation, you look at communal events, it's very rare for Chabad to, unless they can, directly benefit from it, they're not going to, they want you to put out their flyers, and they will never put out your flyers.
Interesting.
But here's the thing, is that from their perspective, they have to pay their own way. So there's a very shrewd cost-benefit analysis. They want to know what they're going to get out of it because they're not getting funding. Once they get past that initial, they gotta swim on their own, and so it may be nice to go and be with the community, but if it's not going to get you anything, it's not the best use of your time. The problem then is that there is very often a kind of sense of being standoffish, or Chabad doesn't know the formal, organized, affiliated Jewish community, and vice versa. We're a little better here. It's certainly not what we could be.
Yeah, but getting back to the JTS, since Chabad.
But independent of Chabad, I mean, the truth is, yes, the conservative movement, centrist Judaism has not done well. Centrist anything in our hyper-partisan environment has not done well. So, but it's a great question. I don't know that I have some.
I wonder if she has
She thinks about
programs to foster growth and even the survival of the conservative movement.
The biggest problem we face, which you did touch on, we don't have enough rabbis. So even with synagogues that have merged and closed, there's a serious rabbinic shortage. And that's been very hard. It has definitely taken its toll on the movement because
Cincinnati has closed, for example.
Well, it was a historical anomaly because Cincinnati, once upon a time, had one of the largest Jewish communities in the United States, and that's why HUC was there. It didn't make sense for HUC to be there. But they still have New York, they have LA, and they have Jerusalem. So they have, 3 full-fledged campuses. So anyway, but there is a shortage of conservative rabbis, and it's you should next weekend we have a rabbinical student who's here for seminary Shabbat, Alex Friedman. He's a 4th or 5th year student. You should ask him about what it's like, how the seminary is or isn't preparing him, and why he thinks, what's his take on why there's a shortage of rabbis, because he's seeing it and living it.
Unfortunately, we won't be here.
Ah, okay.
It's at the appropriate moment.
You'll be at Chabad.
No, but we won't be here.
Okay, well, I hope wherever you are is for good reasons.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day. Take care, Carol. Take care, Mark.